بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق أجمعين محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. The subject of fiqh, and we have reached to issue 1193 about doubts in prayer, and the fourth type of doubts is one who doubts too much. Here there is a term, the kathiru shak, or the one who doubts too much. Well, in psychology they call it obsession. In ordinary cases, the people who have that obsession, he lock the door of the house at night, for example. He come back to his bedroom, he doubt again whether he locked it or not. He go back and make sure that he doubt. Then again when he go back, he doubt, well, it may be not locked properly. Third time, fourth time. He wash his hand, if his hand is dirty, then he doubt, well, it is not clean, and he wash it again. Then he's still doubtful, well, it is probably not clean. He wash it third time, fourth time. He cannot depend on his view that what he did is all right. Always he had doubt that it is not all right. So now at time of the prayer, if somebody has too much doubt state or obsession, and he doubts about his prayer, either about recitation or about rak'ats or about the prayer itself, or whether wudu was performed or not, and so on different occasions. So here is the issue about that. We go one by one. Issue 1193, kathiru shak. We said kathiru shak means the one who doubts too much, or the obsessive person, is a person who doubts quite often, meaning that he doubts more than a normal person does, but due to an unsettled mind or a whims. A normal person who doubts at least once in every 3 prayers should ignore his doubt. The kathiru shak, if in each prayer he doubt 2 times or 3 times. But sometimes ordinary people also, they may doubt. Well, every 3 prayers he may have doubt once. That is not too much doubt or kathiru shak. Issue 1194, if a person with such an obsession doubts about having performed any part of a prayers, he should decide that he has performed it. For example, if he doubts whether he has performed ruku', he should say that he has performed it. And if he doubts about having performed an act which invalidates prayers, like if he doubts whether in the Fajr prayers he has offered 2 or 3 rak'ats, he should consider that he has offered the prayers properly. So the duty of the person who has that obsessive mind is to ignore his doubt. If he doubted, well, ruku' was done or not, he say, well, I did it. Sujood, I did it. Whether now in 2 rakat or 3 rakat in morning prayer, he has doubt. 3 rakat, then the prayer is invalid. 2 rakat is all right. Say, you ignore his doubt. You say it is 2 rakat and will not care for that. So this case sometimes is a solution for him. When he starts ignoring his doubt, automatically his obsession will be all right. Sometimes right away, sometimes within 2-3 days, sometimes within a week time. You see, when he is not caring for his doubt, automatically he will be cured and he has no more doubts. So that was one of the solutions, and fiqh said that the duty of the person is to ignore his doubt. Don't care for the doubt. Just say, inshallah is all right, and finish. Because his duty is not to say it, it's not allowed that he say, okay, I will finish my prayer and I repeat it better. He said, no. You do not repeat your prayer. It is not better to repeat the prayer. It's better to ignore the doubt and fulfill your duty. Otherwise, if you say, okay, well, I have doubt in my prayer, I will pray again, and then I have doubt, I pray third time and fourth time and fifth time for ihtiyat, then his doubt will continue and he will never be cured about it. So you see, he has to fulfill his duty by ignoring his doubt. That is his duty and he should ignore it. Issue 1195. If a person frequently doubts about a particular act of prayers, then doubts occurring about other acts of prayers should be dealt with according to their prescribed rules. For example, if a person who frequently doubts about having performed sajda, doubts about having performed ruku', he should act according to the rules relating to it. That is, if he has not performed sajda, he should perform ruku', and if he has already performed sajda, he should ignore his doubt. You see, some people are not having obsession always. If he has always obsession, then he should ignore it. But sometimes at a certain act he has state of obsession. In sujood, he has doubt. It is 2 sajda or 3 or 4. Did I perform it or not? Well, his doubt is only in sujood. So you say he should apply the rules and regulations of doubt in sujood, as long as that is the problem, that is the obsession. Now, if the same person had doubts about ruku', should he ignore it as well? You say no, because in ruku' he has no obsessive state. So ruku' or qira'at or qiyam, well, has its own solution. Now, what is the rule if somebody has doubt whether he performed ruku' or not? It is said, if his doubt came before he goes to sajda, he sit down and then he doubted, he was standing, he finished the qira'at. Now, has he done his ruku' and after ruku' he's going to sajda, or he forgot the ruku' and he fell down for sujood right away? What is the solution? So if it is before sujood, he should stand and then perform ruku' and then stand after ruku' and go to sujood. But if he is in sujood, he put his head on the place of sujood, on the turba, and then he doubted whether he has performed ruku' or not. Now here we say this doubt should be ignored because its time has passed, its place has passed. Place of ruku' passed completely. Now he is in sujood. So in sujood, if he has doubt about ruku', he should ignore the doubt. If it is before sujood, we said he will stand and perform ruku' to make sure that he perform ruku', because he is still at the place of ruku', has not gone to another act. So what he wants to say that wherever he has doubt, then too much doubt, he should ignore it. But other acts, he should deal accordingly. Whatever is the situation, he should deal with it. Issue 1196. If a person frequently doubts in a particular prayer, like prayer of Dhuhr, and if he has a doubt in the prayers of Asr, he should act according to the rules of doubts. The issue before, he said about the place of the doubt. He had a time of ruku' or sujood, as example was given. Here, about timing. He doesn't have doubt or that obsessive state all the day. At certain time, maybe at midday, Dhuhr prayer, always he had too much doubt. Or Isha prayer, he has too much doubt. Or Asr prayer, he has too much doubt. So if only one prayer he has that situation, so he should apply the rule of Kathir al-Shak to that prayer only. Salam alaikum. And other prayers, he may not, he should act about rules of ordinary doubt. An Asr prayer or Isha prayer, for example, he has doubt is it third rak'at, Isha prayer, or fourth rak'at, then he should work accordingly. Between ruku' and sujood, or qiyam, or qira'at, all, whatever doubt we discussed before, if he has passed the place, then he should not care for it, but he has not passed, he should make it. So accordingly he should act, because he is not kathir shak in those prayers. His kathir shak, for example, is only in dhuhr prayer. So in dhuhr prayer, he should not care for his doubt. But in Asr or Maghrib or Isha, he should care and treat his doubt accordingly. We say that certain doubts should be ignored, certain doubts will nullify the prayer, certain doubts have a solution. We discussed that. So kathir shak, if he has too much doubt in certain prayer, in that prayer he act according to the person who have obsession. But in other prayers he will deal as a normal person, and whatever is solution of the doubt, he should apply it. Issue 1197. If a person who doubts more only when he offers prayers at a particular place becomes subjected to doubt at another place of prayers, he should act according to the rules of doubts. You know, here is another example. It is not the prayer, it is the place. If you go to mosque, for example, in the mosque, because of noise, he get a state of obsession. So in the mosque, if you pray and he has that state of obsession, kathir shak, he will act according to it. But at home, there is no obsession. He's alone in a quiet place, and he can pray normally, and he had doubt like any other normal person. So here he will act according to the ordinary rules and regulations of doubt, like a normal person, not like somebody who has obsession. So again here gave another example. You know, the first example was at certain time of the prayer, he said in sujood, for example. The second example was at certain prayer itself, like dhuhr prayer, for example. Here at certain place of town, you know, maybe at work, in a school, in university, in the park, in the mosque, outside, anywhere. If certain place he had too much doubt, so in other places he should not apply rules and regulations of too much doubt, because in other places he is normal person, has no obsession. Issue 1198. A person who doubts whether he has become one of those who doubt too much, kathir shak, he should act according to normal rules relating to doubts. And as long as kathir shak person is not sure that he has returned to the normal condition, he should ignore his doubt. You see, the one who got obsession is not always very clear that has he obsession or not. Because what is the criteria for it? How to say that this doubt is a normal or this doubt is because of obsession? Well, as I said, some said either he has a feeling, some of the ulama said he has a feeling, he's aware of it, or some said if there are repetitions 3 times, he did the thing and had a doubt, and again he did it and he had a doubt, so it means there are doubts, too much doubt. But if a normal person had, let us say, doubted twice, and now he don't know whether he is of that category, those people who have too much doubt, or no, his doubt is a normal doubt. So you say, what is the rule, general rule? We said the previous state he should apply. Previous state he was normal, now he should say no. His doubt is a doubt of a normal person and should act accordingly. Why? Because he was certain he was normal, now he is doubtful whether he become of the category of obsessive people. So this is not yet settled. And the reverse, if he has a state of kathir shak for, let us say, 1 week, he knows he was in a state of obsession and he was acting according to person whose duty to act as kathir al-shak, with obsession. But then he is becoming cured gradually. He's all right gradually. Now he doesn't know, is he still at a state of obsession or he is normal? He's not sure. Now again we apply what is the previous state. Previous state was, he was sure that he was with kathir al-shak, with obsession. He is not sure he returned back to normal or not. So he will say, no, I am still, his duty is to work as kathir al-shak. When he becomes certain that, no, I am not having doubt too much, okay, then at that time he will deal with doubts in a normal situation. So you see, the same general rules, whatever your previous state you have to apply it until you are certain you have been changed from a situation to another situation. You were normal, then you say, okay, I will deal with this doubt as a normal person, because not very clear that I have too much doubt or not. If you are having too much doubt and you don't know whether your psyche has changed into normal person, say, okay, I will deal with it as somebody has too much doubt till I am sure my psychological situation return back to normal. Yes. Issue 1199. If a kathir al-shak person doubts whether he has performed a rukun or not, and ignores his doubts, but remembers later that he had actually not performed it, he should perform it if he has not gone into next rukun. And if he has commenced the next rukun, his prayer as a precaution is void. For example, if he doubts whether he has performed ruku' or not, and ignores his doubt, but remembers before the second sajda that he has not performed ruku', he should return and perform ruku'. But if he remembers it in the second sajda, his prayers as a precaution is void. Now here he has a situation of kathir al-shak, or somebody has too much doubt, or we said obsessive situation. So his duty to ignore. But there are certain basic part or elemental parts of the prayer. We said like one ruku' is elemental part. We cannot add or delete it. Two sajda are elemental part, and so on. So well, he had doubt whether he performed ruku' or not. He ignored his doubt. He said, no, because I'm having too much doubt, I ignore it. But later on, he was sure that he has not. He became sure, certain, that he has not performed his ruku'. Now, here, if he can do the ruku' in a proper way, then he should do it. If not, as a precautionary measure, his prayer is void. He should pray again. How he can do it? We say before he enter into second rukun, he should go back and perform the first rukun. The second rukun after ruku' is what? It's two sajda. So if he did even one sajda and he did not go to the second sajda, and then suddenly he realized that he did not perform ruku'. He is sure, he is certain that he did not perform ruku'. So still he has time, because he has not entered into the second rukun, which is two sajda. So he should stand, and after standing go to ruku', and stand after ruku', and then go and perform two sajdas, and his prayer is all right. Of course, he might need sajdatay sahu for extra one sajda. Well, that is separate, but at least his prayer is all right. But if he finished two sajdas and then he was certain that his ruku' was not performed, not a state of kathir al-shak, now he will become certain, sure not an obsession. He was sure, certain. So he said, in that case, as a precaution manager, because he missed one rukun, one elemental part of the prayer, his prayer is void. He should pray it again. Issue 1200. If a kathiru shak person doubts whether he has performed an act which is not a rukun and ignores his doubt and remembers later that he has not performed it and the stage of its performance has not passed, he should perform it. And if he has passed its stage, his prayer is in order. For example, if he doubts whether he has recited Hamd, he should recite it. But if he remembers after having gone to ruku', his prayer will be in order. Is all right. Now, the previous issue, if he had doubt about rukun and then he entered into another rukun, then he realized that he did not perform that rukun, we said his prayer is void. Here, not about rukun. He's in Qul Huwallahu Ahad, he had doubt whether he's performed Surah Al-Hamd or not. So he say, well, I performed it. But at the end of Qul Huwallahu Ahad, for example, before going to ruku', he realized surely, he is certain that he, after Takbiratul Ihram, for example, he right away said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Qul Huwallahu Ahad. He did not recite Surah Al-Hamd. So now it is the time still there, so he start reciting Surah Al-Hamd and then repeat Qul Huwallahu Ahad and go to ruku' and sujood, and his prayer is all right. But if he is in ruku' and he is sure now he missed dhikr or reciting Surah Al-Hamd, he is sure, certain about it. And because that is not fundamental part of the prayer, so the prayer is all right. What he needs maybe only sujdatay sahw. Otherwise the prayer is all right because he has not missed an elemental part, and Surah Al-Hamd is not elemental part of the prayer. Issue 1201. If an imam who is leading a congregational prayer doubts about the number of rak'ats, like if he doubts whether he has performed 3 or 4 rak'ats, he will follow the indication given by the follower who is certain about the numbers. If he indicates that it is the 4th, Imam will accept it and complete the prayers. Similarly, if the Imam is sure about the number of rak'ats and the follower has a doubt, he should ignore his doubt. Here in congregational prayer, Imam of the prayer and the follower, those who pray behind the Imam, he used the word follower of the Imam. Okay? Now, each one of the two, if he has doubt, he should follow the other. If the Imam has doubt, is it 3rd rak'at or 4th rak'at? He doesn't know, he should sit and perform tashahud and salam because it is 4th rak'at, or he should stand and complete his 4th rak'at because it was 3rd one. So he has a doubt. Now if he sit and he say tashahud, for example, and if those who pray behind him say bihawlillahi wa quwwati aqum wa aq'ud, means you have to stand, so he will follow them. Now his solution is to follow them. He take it as 4th because they remember it was 3rd, not 4th, and they have to complete the 4th rak'at. Sometimes reverse happens. Imam of the congregation prayer is aware that it is 3rd rak'at. The one who prayed behind him, he forgot, he had a doubt whether it is 3rd or 4th. So what he should do? They said the answer, he should follow the Imam himself. Because he is doubtful, Imam is sure, he will follow the Imam. Or if the Imam is doubtful, the Ma'moom, the one who pray behind the Imam, is sure, then Imam will follow him. So Imam and Ma'moom, they said each one follow the other. We come to a new type of doubts, that is doubts in Mustahab prayers. Issue 1202. If a person doubts about the number of rak'ats in a Mustahab prayer, and if the higher side makes the prayers void, he should decide on the lesser side of the doubt. For example, if he doubts whether he has performed 2 rak'ats or 3 in nafilah of Fajr prayers, he should decide that he has performed 2 rak'ats. But if the higher side does not invalidate the prayers, like if he doubts whether he has performed 2 rak'ats or 1, he is free to decide either way, and his prayers will be valid. See, in Mustahab prayer like nafilah of Dhuhr, or nafilah of Asr, or nafilah of Maghrib, or nafilah to Layl, or nafilah of morning prayer, any nafilah is prayed 2 rakat, as you know. So now he is in nafilah and he doubts whether this is the second rakat, or he stood and he's making it extra, 3rd rakat. Said no, he decided it is second and will not care for his doubt. So if the extra will invalidate the prayer, he will ignore the extra because he's not certain, he's only doubtful. Not that if he's certain, okay, the prayer is invalid, but he's not certain, he's doubtful. So not complete rakat. So he's doubtful. So if he's doubtful, they said, well, he'll ignore his doubt and he take it as it is too. But sometimes if he had doubt between first and second rakat, well, we said in wajib prayer of 2 rakat, like morning prayer or qasr prayer, then it will invalidate the prayer. Doubt between 1 and 2 rakat will invalidate the prayer. But here in Mustahab prayer will not invalidate the prayer. Said you can decide, there is option for you to decide it is 1 and make the second rakat, or you say it is the second and complete your prayer. So in Mustahab prayer or Nafil prayer, if somebody has doubts between first and second rakat, it is optional for him to decide it is first and complete by making the second rakat, or to say it is second and then perform tashahud and salam and say it is the second rakat. And if his doubt between 2 and 3, one side will invalidate the prayer, he will ignore the doubt which invalidated the prayer 3 and he say 1, it is 2, and he complete his prayer and finish it. So that is about Mustahab prayer. Come to issue 1203. Omission of a ruku' invalidates nafilah Mustahab prayer, but addition of a ruku' does not invalidate it. Hence, if the person offering nafilah prayers forgets to perform any part and remembers when he has entered into another rukun, he should return to perform the forgotten part and then re-enter the rukun. For example, if he remembers during ruku' that he has not recited Surah Al-Hamd, he should return to recite Surah Al-Hamd and then go into ruku' again. See here in nafilah, that is another difference between nafilah and obligatory prayer. He said, omission, reducing one rukun will invalidate the prayer, but adding a rukun will not invalidate the prayer. If you miss ruku' and you went into 2 sajda and later on you realize there was no ruku', so the prayer is invalid because there is reduction of one rukun, one elemental part. But if you add by mistake another one, the prayer will not be invalid. So here he said, if you are in ruku' and you remembered you did not recite Surah Al-Hamd, in obligatory prayer, it will not invalidate the prayer, but you should continue your prayer, because you cannot add another ruku'. In Mustahab, he said you can add, no problem. So from ruku' you stand, you recite Surah Al-Hamd and Qul Huwallahu Ahad, and then do ruku' again. So that additional ruku' will not invalidate the prayer. Or if you completed 2 sajda and you are sure you have not performed ruku', you are sure, you are certain, 100%, no doubt. So you go back, perform ruku' and then do 2 sajda again, because extra rukun will not invalidate the prayer. Issue 1204. If a person doubts whether he has performed any rukun or non-rukun part of nafila prayers, he should perform it if its stage has not passed, and if it has, then he should ignore the doubt. So in nafila prayer, he has doubt whether he performed an act or not. He said he should do it, because additionally it is no problem. But if he passed it and it is only doubt, not that he is sure, he ignore it. So actually here it is like the obligatory prayer. If you are in another act and you have doubt about an act before that, you should ignore that. You are in ruku', you have doubt whether you performed, recited Surah Al-Hamd or not, or Hamd and 1 surah or not. So you ignore your doubt because you are in ruku'. The previous issue, he said if you are sure you did not perform it, so from ruku' you recite Surah Al-Hamd and do ruku' again. But here you are not sure, you have only doubt, so because you have passed the place, you ignore your doubt. Issue 1205. If in a Mustahab prayer of 2 rak'ats, a person suspects that he has offered 3 rak'ats or more, he should ignore his doubt, and his prayers are in order. If he suspects that he has offered 2 rak'ats or less, then as an obligatory prayer, he should pay heed to that suspicion. For example, if he suspects that he has performed 1 rak'at only, as a precaution he will perform another rak'at. So here, if he has suspicion, he's not sure, but he think more. Here, dhan, not doubt. Dhan means more than 50% doubt. 70, 80%. He has doubt. So he said it is a mustahab prayer, and he has doubt, is it, or dhan, is it 3 rak'at he performed or 2? He say, though in his thinking, to say 80%, it is a 3 rak'at, but he will ignore that and he say it is 2 rak'at and complete it. But if it is between first and second rak'at, he has to think about it. If he think it was 1 rak'at, he will do accordingly. If he think means more is sure, 70, 80%, not think in doubt, not 50-50. So he will follow whatever his dhan is there. If it was, well, he said, no, I think 80% I am sure it is 1 rak'at. So he will make the second one, perform the second one. If we say, well, 80% is the second rak'at, okay, he will follow that. It is the second rak'at. So here, dhan or shak will not invalidate the prayer, while in obligatory prayer, it will invalidate the prayer. Issue 1206. If a person in nafila prayers performs an act which if he had performed in an obligatory prayers, it would have been necessary for him to do sajda to sahu, or if he forgets one sajda, it will not be necessary to perform sajda to sahu or give qada for the sajda after the nafila is over. See, in obligatory prayer, you say for any addition or omission in the prayer, you need 2 sajda of sahu. But in nafila, you say la sahwa fi nafila. If you do a mistake, you add a word by mistake or forget obligatory saying by mistake, there is no effect for it, no sajda to sahu. And something qada to be performed, like if you missed one sajda, for example, then there is qada for it. If it is obligatory prayer, after the prayer you do qada of one sajda. But here in nafila there is no qada of that. So you can ignore it and your prayer is all right. Issue 1207. If a person doubts whether he has offered a particular mustahab prayer or not, and if that prayer does not have a fixed time, like the prayers of Ja'far al-Tayyar, he should decide that he has not offered it. The position is the same if that prayer has a fixed time, like nafila of daily prayers, and the person doubts before its time lapses whether he has offered it or not. However, if he doubts after the time has gone, he should ignore the doubt. Again here, he doubts about performing the prayer itself. Say some of the prayers has special time, like obligatory prayer, the same ruling. If it is half an hour before Maghrib and you have doubt whether you performed your Dhuhr and Asr prayer or not, if the time is there, so you offer your prayer Dhuhr and Asr. You say, I did not do it because you are not certain you have fulfilled your duty. If the doubt comes after Maghrib, you ignore it because the time has already passed. So here about nafila, you say the same. So if the time of the nafila passed, you are in Asr prayer and you have doubt whether you prayed nafila of Dhuhr, it's already past Dhuhr, finished, and you are in Asr prayer. So you ignore that. But if it has no special time, like prayer of Ja'far al-Tayyar, for example, it is a special prayer recited usually in the day of Jum'ah, or especially in Rajab month. It has a special time. So it has no specific time, whether it is 10 o'clock morning or 11 or 12 or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. So if you doubt, let us say at 4 o'clock afternoon, that whether you performed it or not, you decide that you have not performed it and you perform it to make sure that you did it. So that is the ruling about the mustahab prayers and the doubts in mustahab prayer. We continue the rest inshallah in the second session. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa alihi at-tahirin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjal farajahum.